Right, so a lot of people's waste tank drops. The drop for your waste tank is down there. Now, this is raised off the floor a little bit. If you're on a site or you're at a dump, it means you've got to get out. The area around you might have other waste or crap like that, and it means that you've got to get down there on your hands and knees sometimes, get underneath, undo the export valve, drop the waste, and it's just not a nice experience because you don't know what other people have dropped. I know, a bit nasty. So there is a way of doing all that without even leaving the cab. Get onto this. Show you this while I'm holding the GoPro, which should be very interesting. So we've got this cable, which is going to be our negative, which we are just going to connect up to the battery on there. If I hold that there and I just connect the live, you'll see the ball valve inside closing off that actual circuit. And then if I swap them over and connect this one, then that opens the ball valve. Right, so I'll just show you what I've done with the wiring on the unit. The unit comes with 3 wires. You've got a blue, a red and a yellow. Okay, so if you want to use it the way I'm using it, your yellow was going to be your earth, and then your blue and your red are going to be one to open it live, one to close it live. So what I've done is I've extended the wires and I put this cable on just to see if it would work if I can just earth it to the body underneath of the van. It might be just as good rather than running 3 back to the switch, which may not be needed. So if I can put a ring clip on this and then bolt it to the underneath of the van, get a good earth on it, that should be sufficient for the unit to have a good ground, a good earth. And then I can just run 2 cables, red and blue, straight into the van. I haven't got red and blue cable, I've got red and black, so I've just gone black to blue, red to red. Dead easy to remember. They are both going to be positive cables. So because we've gone for quite a big hole, don't normally like a big hole, but gets the water out quicker, doesn't it? Right, because it's quite a big hole, I'm thinking, what pipe's going to go in there? Right, so I ended up getting these fittings. What was someone making a noise? So, got these fittings, put one pipe on there. I've actually fastened this pipe to the end of the fitting, which it's just a straight nozzle on that end, and then these will screw into there like that. So they'll screw into the end where the ball valve is, and it just means that everything is neat and tidy and tight. So first of all, we've got to get underneath. We've got to connect this one to the actual tanks. Take the one that's on the tanks off, remove the actual twisty thing that drops the water, get this fitted, and then decide where we're going to mount this, because we need to mount this underneath somewhere. That's going to be the interesting bit. We also need to cover this in a bag as well and cable tie it up so the water and the wet just doesn't get into there and make it all crappy and not work. Right, so there is the existing pipe for the van, and then that just comes to this point here. We are going to remove this point, and that's where the ball valve is going to sit. So we need to take that pipe off there and then replace it with the one that's going to the ball valve, which is going to sit there. Right, so I fitted this bracket underneath to the actual holes that were holding the old one on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit the actual unit facing downwards, so like that, so I don't need a pipe on the bottom because it will just come out of the bottom. The reason I've put it there is because we didn't want it any higher, because we want the water, we technically want this to be below our tanks, which is kind of impossible because it will be trailing right down on the floor, and we don't want it too low because it's just going to get ripped off, because Neil has a habit of let's not go there. So we're going to stick that there like that, and then bring the pipe up, and then take the actual electric pipe round and then follow the line where the water pipe goes down to the front tanks, and then we can come up into the cab. I might actually just put another L bracket on the top there and just fasten it into this piece so it's got a brace top and bottom. Right, so put this one on the top so that we can brace it with cable ties right the way through to this one, and then I can get one through this top one over and underneath. That way clamping the two brackets together and keeping this, you know, because this is stronger than this one, but having the two of them on there, that is going absolutely nowhere. And then we don't need a pipe on the bottom because that's fine just there. We just need the pipe going from there into the tanks, which will go in straight like that, keeping it nice and level and keeping the pipe going straight over to the tanks. The next job is to get the cable all the way down there for the electrics and going into the cab. And it looks like it's going to rain, so I'm going to get wet anyway. Basically, we're going to have the cable running down through there. I've lifted the floor up, it's going to go through the seat and then go down through one of the grommets in the floor there. And this is the switch that we're using. It's the switch that enables you to go up or down, and then what happens is this side is all your negatives, then your positive feed will come there, which you can see I've fused, and then because the actual unit itself needs two lives, one to open it and one to close it, we can put the opening live on the top and the close live on the bottom. Right, so got the switch mounted in there, just need to tighten it up now. I have had a couple of little helpers. Say hello, Dolly. I'm Poppy. So that's going to be closed. That's going to be closed, and then that's going to be closed. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, that's going to be open, and that's going to be closed. Right, now we've got to the part where I've got the cable all the way through. You probably notice I've got a hat on. It's a change of clothes, because this thing is taking me longer than it really should. Far too long. And I blame B-Jam Van, and it's you. It's your fault. But it's just taking forever. So nice, we've got the cable through the bottom of the seat because there's a little rubber grommet in there that goes under your seat. Thank you VW for that. So now we can get that connected up to the switch. Right, so now we're just going to connect the cable, get it up there, and then we got to connect it onto the ports on here, and then we can go from there. We're not going to use the earth because, like I said, we're just going to earth it from down that end, so the earth is irrelevant. Get these connected back up now. I can't remember what's what, so I don't know whether black is open or red is open or black is closed and red is closed, but we're just going to drop everything. We're just going to connect it up, and we can always swap the cables over later on and see what happens. All you've got to do now is clean off on one of the brackets hanging down that used to be for the spare wheel. We're going to tap into that with a self tapper. We've got a couple of washers on there and a spring washer. We can put the earth cable onto that, and then it should be done. It should be working then. We've just got to test it. Right, so we're going to take the earth strap and we're going to connect it up to that hanging bracket there. First of all, we need to clean that off, and then we can screw into that with a self tapper. Right, got that earth on there. What we're going to do is just going to put a cable tie on the bottom. We'll cover that with some paint to keep it all fresh and clean, and then we might take it off and put a piece of pipe over there, but I need to get some thinner pipe, so we'll do that at a later date. But now we need to check whether this works. Right, so let's test if this works. So if we push it down, that's going to open it, and then push it up. going to close it. Right, so the pipe that goes into it, because of where we've had to put the unit, because there wasn't really many places to actually fix it, the pipe is going to have to go in on the top. But the problem with that is that then the pipe going to the actual tank is going to be like that. So what I've done is I've gone online and I've ordered a 1 inch to 25mm angled curve. So angled curve, is that even a word? Angled curve. Well, we just make up things on this channel every week. 45-degree angled one, you know what I mean, one of them that goes that way. So the pipe will come straight out, and then that means it will go straight into the tank, and the pipe, the actual waste pipe, will be completely flat, level. It's one of them days. It's like this job has taken me too long because it's either rained, or it's rained, or it's rained. So yeah, so we'll have to put this one in for now, temporary, until the other pipe comes, and then I can just literally undo that Jubilee clip and then push the pipe on and make it flat. Haha, success. Right, so we've got the pipe connected to the tank, and then all we've got to do now is connect the pipe to this. As you can see, I've left it a little bit long just for now, just because, you know, we're waiting for the other piece that will come off there and then just go straight to the tank. So I'm going to connect this up now and then go from there. That's the valve installed. I've covered it in the back and I've cable tied it all up, so that's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to move, it's solid. So that's not going anywhere now. It's all connected back up to the pipe, that's all tight. And then we've gone up there and we've gone over where we put it with the screw with some hammerite, so that's keeping that all fresh and clean as well. So now we just got to fill the tanks up and test it out. The water in the van is filling up just to get some water in the actual grey tanks. Now we're going to test the switch. Does it work? Best I do. So apart from the weather, that was a pretty easy install. It was just getting the wire through, getting the switch in, plumbing it all in, and it was all good to go. And now we can actually drop the waste from inside the cab. So, thumbs up from me. Hope it gets a thumbs up from you. And leave us a comment if you like it. If you don't like it, let us know what you think. I think it's personally a better idea because it saves you, one, it could be raining, two, it could be a crappy place where you're dropping your actual waste, and for me it's just a win. So big shout out to BJam Van for coming up with that brainstorm idea. Also, I have seen other van channels do it as well, and I got the idea of wrapping the actual casing in a plastic bag from the guys over at the King of the channel as well. They fitted one on theirs and they went through it in their top gadgets in the van, and I thought that's a good idea.